I am often reminded of the miracles of Jesus. Most recently when I was watching Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox, the famous Norwegian actor. His Norwegian name, incidentally, is Kjorkata Potatoes Salad Hot Dog Motherfucker Michael J. Fox. In the movie Back to the Future, he enters his DeLorean chamber and is able to travel through time using the threads of time, which the threads coming from the Shroud of Turin, where, according to legend, when Jesus was given a bloody nose on the cross, he blew his nose with the shroud and permanently and it put a print of his face on the holy shroud. And the reason why watching the movie Back to the Future reminded me of the miracle of Jesus is that Jesus also had the power to travel through time. He was born during the reign of Quirinius, as stated in the New Testament, the book of Luke, chapter 2. During the time of Quirinius, which was 6 and 7 AD, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord, Caesar Augustus wanted the whole world to be taxed, so everyone would have a tax. And so Joseph and Mary traveled to Bethlehem, which is the house of bread. They were not keto back then. Anyways, Mary gave birth to Jesus while they were in Bethlehem around 6 or 7 AD, as it says in the New Testament, during the reign of Quirinius. Now, subsequent to the birth, these 3 wise men came from the east, and they spoke to King Herod the Great, and said, "We saw a star in the east and came to worship this little guy." And Herod was like, "Oh, kibble," and said, "Go worship him, but then holla back so I can worship him too," you know. The thing is, Herod the Great didn't really want to worship little Jesus, little Jesus, pequeñito, suavecito, rico, suave. King Herod wanted to kill baby Jesus. So Joseph and Mary, they fled. They flooded. They took many steps in a short amount of time to get to Egypt, where Abraham was busy drawing pictures of himself on a table with another man. Anyways, the thing is, King Herod died in 4 BC, and if Jesus was born during the reign of Quirinius, which was 6 and 7 AD, and then after he was born, King Herod, who died in 4 BC, tried to kill Jesus, well, Jesus had to enter his DeLorean chamber and go back to the time of King Herod the Great in order to get King Herod, or I don't know, maybe King Herod had the Shroud of Turin and traveled through the threads of time in his DeLorean. But I don't know, like, it's a great miracle regardless. It's way more impressive than when Jesus made some bread out of fish, or the bread, the fish. Anyway, so if Jesus was born in 6 or 7 AD, let's say 7, all right? Lucky number. So Jesus is born in 7 AD. Who knows how King Herod got involved? He was dead way before that. But who wasn't dead at that time was Pilate, Pontiac. Honda makes a Pilot, but Pontiac, this was a long time ago when Pontiac. Anyway, so like Pilate, Ponch and John, God, history, man, it's fascinating. So Pontius Pilate, he was in Jerusalem from 26 AD to 36 AD. And in 36 AD, he returned to Rome and then died within a year. So in 37 AD, Pontius Pilate was dead. So Jesus, who was born in 7 AD, at the age of 30, began his ministry. That means Jesus began his ministry in 37 AD. That's when Pontius Pilate was dead already. So if Jesus began his ministry at age 30 in 37 AD, had a 3-year ministry, that would make it 40 AD. At the end of the 3-year ministry, he's making out with Josephus, or Judas, and in the garden. It's like it got late. Things, one thing led to another. Judas is kind of macking. I'm so easily distracted, man. It shows I am evil. No, I'm not. I really fall asleep pretty fast, which I think is an indicator of a clear conscience. But anyway, so Jesus, he's 30 years old in 37 AD, 3-year ministry, 40 AD. I don't know if it was public indecency. For whatever reason, he's arrested in the garden. He's kissing. Who knows who was kissing who, but regardless, Jesus is arrested and is taken before Pontius John Pilate. But Ponch was dead at that time. So here we have yet another miracle of Jesus, that he somehow, through it all, was able to travel through time and appear before Pontius Pilate. Before he had to appear before Pontius Pilate before Pilate had died. But it also had to be before Jesus even began his ministry. But it also had to be after Jesus completed his ministry. I mean, the power of God it's manifest in the very pages of your quadruple combination. The pages are like super thin, but the paper, it seems nevertheless strong, like the Shroud of Turin. No, the Shroud of Turin is not at all like that. It's not strong at all. You know what else isn't strong is Keebler cracker. Keebler crackers are very crunchy, very brittle. They don't bend, they break. Very crunchy.